For this video, you find me with the 2022 Mazda CX-5 Turbo. This one is finished in the Soul Red Crystal Metallic paint with a black interior, and with delivery, this spec comes in at $38,795. How's it going, everyone? Welcome to Shifting Lanes. My name is Hanson, and in this video, I want to give you my review of Mazda's best-selling SUV. And I'll also give you my likes and dislikes about it so that you have a better idea before you buy. And if you learn anything new while watching this or have any feedback, comment it down below. And if you like this style of video review, make sure to hit that like, subscribe, and especially that notification bell button, because your views and your comments will keep this channel growing. Now for 2022, the CX-5 gets a mild facelift and a bit more power. Starting with the exterior, the CX-5 has a new front end. Mazda minimized the character lines in favor of a smoother and cleaner look. This one has a smaller chrome wing, which makes room for the revised headlights. And there's new daytime running lights that make this CX-5 look more unique and noticeable. This model also has adaptive headlights. That means that when you're driving at night, the headlights can actually pivot to where you're turning. As for the back, it gets a new bumper with bigger tailpipes, a revised tailgate, and also new taillights with rectangular LED lights that makes it stand out a bit better. This CX-5 Turbo trim gets some special bonuses that you won't find in other trims, like the gloss black grille, which has red accents, and gloss black finish on other parts that would normally be chrome or in matte black, like the signature wing, door mirrors, the lower bumper, wheel arches, and the rocker molding. Making these parts in this color makes the CX-5 Turbo look a bit classier than the other trims. And on top of those changes, there's also blacked out 19-inch wheels that completes the look. Inside the CX-5, the 2022 version looks pretty much the same, but there's still a lot to like about it. I like the 10.25-inch infotainment display. This has Mazda's latest user interface, and it works smoothly with very little lag. And there's also Apple CarPlay or Android Auto integration via USB. All the inputs are done via this rotary dial, and I actually like using it because the menu system on the infotainment is pretty logical and it's very easy to use. I also like the shortcut buttons around here because it makes navigating through the menus a bit easier to do. And lastly, I really like this favorites button because that compiles all of your favorite destinations, your radio stations, and also your contacts into one easy list. As for the screen, it's not a touchscreen, which I don't mind at all because I think touchscreens can be very distracting. But my only gripe is that when you connect Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, which have been designed for touchscreen use, that means that you have to use this rotary dial and you have to keep turning or toggling through all the buttons before you get to the one that you want. And since this isn't a touchscreen, I would have preferred it if the location of the display was a bit further away and more within the periphery of the driver, because that way they don't have to take their eyes off the road as much. As for the rest of the interior, according to Mazda, they've improved the seats to provide you with a more natural and comfortable experience. I suppose so, because these seats are pretty comfortable. I like that there's heating and ventilation for the front seats. The red contrast stitching is nice for that sporty look. And I also like that the second row has heated seats as well. Rear legroom is very spacious at 39.6 inches, and cargo space with the second row up is at 30.8 cubic feet of space, and that expands nicely to 59.3 cubic feet with the second row folded down. This is not a bad compact crossover to use for when you're hauling stuff, but keep in mind that there's bigger compact crossovers that can fit even more, like the Hyundai Tucson. And if you want to see my review of that one, click the link up here. Other nice upgrades that you'll find in this 2022 CX-5 Turbo are the Bose 10-speaker sound system, a heads-up display with traffic sign recognition, and a wireless charger. But what gets even better with the CX-5 is the driving experience. I love Mazdas because they like to focus more on an enjoyable driving experience than other brands. And CX-5 is a fun crossover to drive. For 2022, they've made the CX-5 Turbo even better because it now makes a slight bit more power. The 2.5-liter turbo 4-cylinder engine now cranks out 256 horsepower. That's a 6 horsepower increase over last year's model, and it also makes 320 pound-feet of torque. Is it a noticeable difference? Not really. Anything under a 10% improvement won't really be that noticeable, but anytime you can make the engine more powerful and keep the mileage about the same, then that's a win. Speaking of which, all CX-5 models now will have standard iActive all-wheel drive system, and the miles per gallon for the CX-5 Turbo all-wheel drive is still 22 city, 27 highway, and 24 combined. It's worth noting that if you want to unlock all the ponies in the engine, you have to put in premium fuel or 93 octane. If you don't have access to premium fuel, or if you want to save a little bit of money, then the engine will detune itself if it senses regular or 87 octane. So that way you'll only get 227 horsepower and 310 pound-feet of torque. It's actually nice that the manufacturer states that yes, you can still put regular in here, because if you're just commuting and you don't really need all that performance, just put in regular fuel. The ride quality in the CX-5 is a bit on the firm side, but that's a good trade-off for that nice and responsive handling that the CX-5 offers. Mazda has made a number of slight improvements for the ride and handling qualities, and this 6-speed automatic transmission, it's better. This is more responsive. And then the frame of the car is also more rigid. I love driving this on back roads, and using the paddle shifters to control the 6-speed automatic transmission provides a fairly engaging experience. As a bonus, this CX-5 also comes with a suite of driver assistance tools like adaptive cruise control, blind spot monitoring, rear cross traffic alert, and lane keeping assist. Overall, the 2022 CX-5 Turbo gets several nice little upgrades to make this one the best one yet. You really can't go wrong if you're looking for a fun-to-drive crossover that looks fairly upscale. It is missing some nice features that you can normally find in other SUVs. For example, a fully digital instrument cluster. This one doesn't have that. Wireless Apple CarPlay and wireless Android Auto? Not yet. And also, this one doesn't have a large panoramic roof. So if those things are important for you, then you just kind of have to weigh those things out as you're shopping around with other SUVs. So let me hear your thoughts on this. What do you think of the new 2022 Mazda CX-5 Turbo with all-wheel drive? Leave your comments down below. I want to thank you so much for watching all the way till the end. If you learned something, hit that like button and then hit that subscribe and that notification bell so that you can be notified anytime I make a new video. Let's wrap it up right there. My name's Hanson. This has been the 2022 Mazda CX-5 Turbo with all-wheel drive, and I'll see you on the next one.